If you're listening to this late at night, I need you to do something first. Look around the room you're in. Don't move. Just listen. Every house makes sounds, pipes, walls, the distant hum of electricity. But sometimes, there's a sound that doesn't belong. That's the sound that brought me back. I hadn't been inside my childhood home for over 40 years. I was 58 when I stood on the front porch again, holding a key that no longer felt like mine. The realtor said the house had been empty since my mother died. No visitors. No tenants. No issues, he said. But the moment I stepped inside, I heard it. A slow, familiar creak from upstairs. Not the random kind. Not the kind old houses make when they settle. It was the exact sound of someone shifting their weight at the top of the stairs. The same sound my father used to make. When he stood there, watching. I told myself it was nostalgia playing tricks on me. The house smelled exactly the same, dust, old wood, something faintly sweet. The wallpaper was peeling, the furniture gone, but the layout was untouched. I planned to stay for a week. Sort through paperwork. Sell the place. Move on. The first night, I slept on a mattress in the living room. The bedrooms upstairs felt wrong. Not dangerous. Just uncomfortable, like sitting in someone else's chair. During the day, everything felt normal. Sunlight through the windows. Birds outside. The familiar ticking of the old clock in the hallway, still working, somehow. I cooked simple meals. Watched television at night. Locked the doors. I even laughed at myself. A grown man afraid of an empty house. But every evening, just after midnight, the clock stopped ticking. And something upstairs began to move. It started subtle. Footsteps, always slow, always deliberate, pacing from one bedroom to another. Never running. Never stopping for long. When I checked, the rooms were empty. The doors, however, changed. I'd leave them open. In the morning, they were closed. One night, I left a chair at the bottom of the stairs. The next morning, it stood at the top. I began sleeping with the lights on. I called my sister and asked if anyone had a spare key. She laughed and said I was imagining things, just like I did when we were kids. That part stuck with me. Because as children, we both used to complain that the house felt crowded. Even when we were alone. I found old photos in the basement. Family pictures. And in every one, reflected in mirrors, windows, dark corners, there was someone else. Standing behind us. By the fourth night, the house stopped pretending. The footsteps no longer waited for midnight. They followed me. Room to room. Always just out of sight. Whispers replaced silence, not voices, but breathing. Close. Patient. The clock began ticking again, but backward. I woke up one morning to find muddy footprints leading from the front door to my bedroom. Adult footprints. Barefoot. Facing my bed. That night, I heard my mother's voice. Calling my name from upstairs. She sounded young. Healthier than she ever was at the end. I stood at the bottom of the stairs, shaking. And asked who was there. The house answered by turning on every light upstairs at once. And then the footsteps started running. I locked myself in the living room. The walls creaked like they were breathing. The doors rattled. Then everything stopped. Silence. A voice spoke from the hallway, calm, familiar. My own. You came back, it said. We kept the place warm for you. Memories flooded in, things I'd buried. The nights my father watched from the stairs. The way my mother never intervened. The room at the end of the hall we weren't allowed to enter. The house didn't haunt us. It protected itself. From what lived inside our family. I left at dawn. The realtor called later, confused. He said the house was never empty. Neighbors reported lights on every night. And a man in the window. Watching. Waiting. Just like I used to.